One of the most common distortions in personal development comes from using the wrong measurement system. We think we are evaluating ourselves objectively, but in reality, we are often relying on an unstable metric, our relative position compared to others. When this metric is in control, self-worth fluctuates with circumstances, feeling capable one day and inadequate the next, not because ability has changed, but because the environment has. This creates a faulty feedback loop. We take signals from the outside, react to short-term emotions, and then adjust our behavior based on unreliable inputs, other people's opinions, surface-level outcomes, or social impressions. As a result, we learn in skewed ways, make poor choices, and judge ourselves by standards that do not reflect core competence. If you want real development, the first step is to examine the measurement system you are using. Instead of asking, "Where do I stand compared to others?" ask, "Am I getting better according to a specific, repeatable standard?" This is not psychological advice. It is a basic principle of improving any system. Change the inputs, redefine the objective, and measure outputs with verifiable data. The being better than others metric usually leads to three serious distortions. First, it creates an illusion of progress, even when ability has not increased, simply because you are standing next to a weaker group. Second, it pushes you to optimize for appearance rather than skill, using tasks that earn praise instead of those that actually build competence. Third, it ties motivation to external validation, so when recognition disappears, the entire system collapses. All three cause development to break down whenever circumstances change. By contrast, a progress metric forces attention onto what you can control, improving execution. You do not need to beat anyone, only to increase the quality of your own output over time. This creates a correct feedback loop. You try, you fail, you adjust, you measure again, and gradually real capability emerges. However, for progress measurement to work, two common mistakes must be avoided. The first is relying on subjective feelings instead of concrete data. The second is failing to use repeatable tests to track change. The solution is to define clear criteria, such as processing speed, error rate, or level of completeness, and repeat the same type of task over short cycles, often 2 weeks. Instead of asking, "Was I praised?" ask questions like, "Was this clearer? Did the recipient need fewer follow-up questions? Did my decision require fewer revisions?" These are far better signals of skill upgrade, and more importantly, they do not depend on crowd opinion. Designing the right measurement system reshapes the entire learning process. When the goal is better than yesterday, you choose work that genuinely develops you, even if it is not glamorous. When the goal is better than others, you choose work that makes you look good, and the system fails at its foundation. Comparison does not disappear, but once the measurement system is reset, comparison becomes data for learning rather than a verdict on personal worth. At that point, the mind is no longer dragged around by winning and losing, and the capacity to absorb feedback increases rapidly. Deep learning requires stability, a state that only exists when the metric has been standardized. In short, if you feel stuck in a loop of self-doubt, or if you are constantly busy yet see no real progress, start by re-examining your measurement system. Measuring position will not make you stronger. Measuring progress will. Because, in the end, the only metric that truly matters is whether today you are better than you were yesterday.